back to bed for 2 more weeks.
Hey, and I let you know I pulled up here in front of me.
Hey there, motorsport fans. How are you doing today? Boom, hit our goal, 606 subscribers. So pleased. It's always kind of had a dream of just like being a huge YouTuber and shit. And you know, I really don't need to be huge to really feel like where you're at and what you want to do. I'm currently living the dream. Can't believe it that it's all working out so great lately. Big things in store. So hard for me to keep the lock and key on the secret to this one, but coming soon. New driver will be introduced to King Dave Motorsports coming soon. This episode is about 600. What does 606 mean to me? 606. What does number 606 mean to me? 606 subs. We've done the goal. Well, my dad always run the number 606. I got a bunch of clips we're just going to run through. Maybe along the way we'll figure it out. Let's get at it. Here's an early pic of the Chevelle he built. I believe this is at a Rhinelander track. They used to have these homemade jumps. He was telling me he used to race the original 101 mile track where it would go back through the back 40. Good stories there. But I don't remember a whole lot of the Chevelle or before that. I remember sitting in it and such. But anyway, here's the Nova. I believe it's like 1991. There's 5-year-old King Dave. There it is. My dad getting the motor. My mom and
How long till we start it up?
We got 14 grand.
Man, first grade King Dave, unreal. But my dad told me this motor was, let's see, both his parents died pretty close together. And
you aren't able to get it if you need it.
Cash just allowed him the freedom to be able to build this dream machine. Which I gotta say, all the memories tied to it
Then run to Barb's house and
are
call
absolutely
911.
amazing. Couldn't trade it for anything else. There we go. First time that motor appears alive. I believe it's something like May 22nd. 81? May? Don't sound May. Like August. But I guess he didn't race the 91 season. He was busy building this thing. Did one race in Oshkosh. Ooh, there's Joe Kentop, co-driver. Great family friend. Love you, Joe. Boy, here it is getting built. September 9th.
Bill, you have any idea what happened to the marking devices?
It's got wheels on it now. Getting ready to get it started and fire up. I think the race is in 1 or 2 days after this.
Everyone out there at TV Land, can you hear David? Turn it on!
This is all I've seen of my husband in the last 6 months.
Yeah, the carriage full. Yeah, did you put it in there?
Watching these is so fun.
Hello, take 7.
Okay, see, we lived in Oshkosh, so
This race we didn't have to go camping or travel, stay the whole weekend. It's definitely a different feel because I was used to going on all these trips to the races, camping. Good memories. Anyway, we're back here at Oshkosh Racetrack. I believe it's completely shut down this day. They used to only do races like this. They turned it into a circle track. Anyway, this is the Nova's first race out in Oshkosh. Boy, nothing beats rooting for your dad out there. They have a bigger group of fans and kids to really good. I'm a big fan. Still hoping he'll win to this day, even though I already know how this race is going to end. Super slick out there today. Let's see who is that? Rick Rayford out front. All these other names I remember. Love the American stock class. Always loved the cars. Of course, I drive a car myself. Just never really into mods. If we're gonna go American stock, we might as well build it, take some jumps, not drive in a circle. It's just me. Yeah, there's something a little bit more romantic about the in Texas. They used to run 20-minute races, and it was like an 8-lap race or something. It used to be 101 miles. I can only imagine how long that would take to beat. Here you have it, the Nova's first ever lap around the circuit. Started overheating, you can tell, and he just spent, I think he said something like $8 grand on this motor or something like that. There's my boss saying shut it down because he spent so much money on it. Blow it up. Yeah, shut it down. Of course, you can see it's obviously a race of attrition out there as a lot of cars overheating, but we're breaking down. There's Faye Statsony, longtime flagman at the Crandon Raceway and with the Off-Road League here up in the Upper Midwest. There's Gary Gottschalk, always a friend of my dad. We got Friday's sponsorship there. It's a junkyard south of Oshkosh. So I can help my dad out a bit. I've been there a couple of times, getting parts and what. On the homemade views today.
Have a beer?
Little Chevy pickup. Remember that baby? I don't remember it looking like that. It's a little shorter than I remember. Here later. There's Joe. He put in a ton of body and paint work on this thing. Of course, my dad worked on the road most of the times. It was weekends. So Joe really stepped up his game to get this thing dialed in so beautifully. Ooh, there's the original build of the classic hood scoop. Now it's made of fiberglass. I can imagine that thing weighing a lot. Made of metal. Wow, there it is. And that was what, Dale's or something that was the backyard of our house. Backyard neighbor was Dale's automotive or whatever, body shop and what.
Our new baby.
Handbag.
Girlfriend, that's what you're gonna call her.
Wow, it's really starting to look good now. Classic maroon color.
What?
It is getting pulled out onto the track for the first race of the season. Inigo, Wisconsin. I'm sorry, getting pulled onto the trailer, not the track. What am I saying? Wow. Oh man, that thing looks hot. They look really good when they're first built. Super clean paint. Man, that thing's a gem. Look at the sunshine off that thing.
Bill Gillespie, 604 Ellen Fannin, 673 G.B. Brett.
First race with a brand new paint job, up over the first jump, boom, we got a collision. The next turn, bang, hits the Zendorka, and he's got a flat tire already. Awful bummer thinking about it nowadays. To spend, get a brand new set of tires and go shear one off on the first corner. Of course, I can't say I haven't been penalized for being too gung-ho off the start myself. Stuff happens. So he kept pushing through it. A lot easier to keep going on a flat front right. He pushed hard. Boom. He would eventually get her stuck a couple of times. It'd be the end of the day for...
That Camaro sure likes to go nose heavy. Well, he's definitely shown us all that he is definitely deserving of the Rookie of the Year.
He got her free. Pulled her out and got it stuck again. He pulled it out of there and it, I think it broke down or something. Not entirely sure what happened. I know he told me once before. But, that was it.
Well, it bobbled a little bit there. You see that? Sure did.
So yeah, most of the races, like my dad would tell you, they would mainly just be warm-up races for the Crandon World Championship. That's the big one. That's where a lot of the people show up. That's where the big, you get your ring, and then you get the chance to be a world champion. Come on now. So let's see. Here's the first World Championship.
Daddy's reading section.
Fourth or fifth. Kicking some butt. We were right behind Faye. He was always chasing Faye. Always say I just wanted to beat Faye. I don't think he ever did. But that keeps the fire burning within you, man. I think one guy said though, he wished upon his enemies, I hope you accomplished all of your dreams. Then you just got no drive. Here you go. You're running third or something. There's family friend, Chris. Here's Pops coming behind, you know. I was watching this race. I watched the whole race. Every lap he's gaining on the leaders, you know. Just getting closer, getting closer. And I'm just hoping, even to this day, still hoping he's going to win this race. He never won the Crandon World Championship. Many class titles, many race victories. He's won in the spring brush run plenty of times.
Too bad.
So boom, now he's in second. You know, imagine as a 5-year-old or 6-year-old watching your dad coming around the track. Come on, Dad!
You've got smoke out of the left front, though. Yeah, I know.
Of course, as a kid, you're not really thinking smoke, what that means. I finally learned that means all your radiator fluid's usually burning off because it's so hot, it's boiling off. So I burnt my one motor up in my 3rd enduro race. Just kept driving even though there was no coolant in it. Warping the head and warping the block. Oh, here he comes.
He's landing like that.
Every lap, getting closer, getting closer.
Hey, Bill. Oh, come on.
There's the motors. Cooking right now, well over 250 probably.
I think he's got his sights set on the lead, but I don't know. I see that little whiff of smoke coming off that left.
That's what it's all about. How many cars started this race? A dozen, and there's like maybe 4 or 5 still on the track. Yeah, the most recent race I saw, the Classics. Only 1 car finished the race, although my dad's been in a couple of races like that.
661, John Zadorka, he in 3rd place.
Of course, here it comes. So this is back when they raced by time, so once the 20 minutes was up, they'd throw the white flag, or maybe after such amount of time. Not entirely sure, but it's 20 minutes. Of course, they only race their class once a weekend on Saturday, and on Sunday, they would have a challenge race, where you would have like the heavy metal challenge, or you'd have the women's races also. Very exciting. I'm pleased to see in modern days we've got the females racing out there with the guys to show them they can do it too. Of course, here it comes. You know, he was gaining on him, gaining on him. Look how slow the leader's going. He's got to be on him. Well, he's losing ground. Or he's not coming around. So yeah, I mean, I guess just as a kid, really just loved to see him win, loved these cars. Of course, there's a lot more to it here. Next year, fall 93. Look at him right on fake. Got the front a little light. Boom. That mortified me as a kid. I was terrified to see him going like a 90-degree nosedive, and then boom, these guys come off that jump hitting each other. Now I can see why Crandon removed that second bumper jump. There's only 2 jumps on the front stretch now, the barn jump and then the turn 1 jump. Of course, I know what it's like to have a thrill. Oh, shit. Now you're thinking, is this gonna hurt? Went by, I just always wanted them to get a podium. That was kind of the thing. They would always interview the top 3 drivers, and I just thought it would be the bee's knees just to hear my dad up on the interview. So I remember him telling me recently, he said when you build a car, it takes about 4 years to start the build to turn it into a winner.
Checkered flag for 25 years, a little bit of steam cleaning the windshield off there for Egghead, and Bill Grabowski.
There you go, 1994, when I'm 8 years old.
Bill Grabowski.
Get to hear him on the announcers.
Garrett Parsons gets a 4th place position, moving up. Got a 5th place in Andy Doig.
We're going to see more of you out here. I'm sure you're going to get in that heavy metal showdown. I believe I'm going to have Ed run it tomorrow. He's put a lot of time into it the last couple of weeks, and see if he can't tear it up. Well, we're going to be watching Brady Quaid out there. Congratulations, Eddie. Sounds good. We're going to get over here to the Grabowski racing. Oh, here he is. And yeah, you got a windshield.
Yeah, one of the few guys to run a windshield.
And you drove a pretty clean race. Just couldn't catch up to these guys? Yeah, that's exactly right. It was an excellent race. I saw Al Fannin in my windshield the whole race. Couldn't catch up to him. I thought I could, but that's the way it was. He ran an excellent race. Yeah, just a little bit faster than me. Now, are you running the whole series here, or is this your only race? No, I'm running the whole series. Currently, I'm leading the Class 6 points championship right now. You notice I had to drag that race off.
So yeah, leading the
well,
points.
congratulations, you're a real sportsman. And,
He said it was all about you just got to make every single race.
Well, you bet. I want to thank BF Goodrich. Believe it or not, these tires are all 3 years old, and they're still running on the car. I can't say enough about the BF Goodrich, KC Highlights, associate sponsors, K&N Filters, and of course NGK Sparkflex.
Always shouting out the sponsors. Got to thank my sponsors for helping me out. Always got to give them a shout. But here's a race he was telling me about. He said he was the only car on the track, and then the track official threw the checkered flag early because he's like, I want to see one car finish this race. Yeah, this is the only win of the whole season, 1994. Started off as the points lead and just kind of kept it from there. Plus just showing up to all the races. 94, there's a lot of racing videos if you want to check out my playlists. Watch that whole season, lots of stuff. Class 7, Class 13, women's heavy metal, all types of good fun. We are back at the World Championship. 94 still trying to win that ring. Just that consistency. She's running a little hot. I feel like this is the wrong cut. Oh no, he pulls off. Yep, you can't finish them all, but there you still, look at that. He got the BF Goodrich Racing Points Championship, and that's when I remember, maybe it was this year, he said 3 years, and there was a whole truckload of tires that showed up, like 10 sets or so. What are we in, 95 now? First win of the Nova at Crandon, so Nova pulled home a victory. Saying he wanted to ride that Chevy Skybox Lift of Champions. Awesome win, especially at Crandon. And the car stalled. Couldn't get it up onto the Lift of Champions. Oh, couldn't quite get it up there. But heck, you won the race.
And Bill certainly did finish. He finished fine. Put on a good show. I'm going to try to get the other guys over here. I'll go over here and we'll talk to Bill. And, Bill,
I'm so happy when he wins. It's good fun. Good fun as a kid. Of course, then the series was bought up by Core or sanctioned by Core or whatever it is, I don't know, and they dropped the Classics class, so it was just promoter sanctioned, which means somebody, like I think it was BFG or KC Highlights especially, put out money for this class to even race on the track. Here he is, took the win in 98, got his chance to ride on the Chevy Skybox Lift of Champions.
We've got one more car out on the racetrack right now. I believe that was Joe Wood from Bayonet.
And it stalls again!
When we see Joe coming around, he's currently running in third.
There's no way in hell he was gonna not get up there though. Fired up, little bump, it's in, it's in! Ugh! Look how good that looks.
Nice race, Bill. By golly, when there's only 5 vehicles out there, everybody thinks it's so easy, But no, it's not, because the guy behind you can catch you easily. You're still after the guy ahead of you, and he was leading. Looks like he dropped the drive shaft somewhere along the line.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's correct. Kind of ironic. He did the same thing last race. Because he's really one tough competitor. He's very difficult to beat. When I saw him on the side, I knew we were winning the race, but Jeremy Flannery, boy, he was giving us a push there at the end, and we started smoking. We were running about 250, and the engine was getting hot, but I didn't want to stop or slow down, because I know he was coming.
Well, this is your actually third weekend out with this car now. What place are you in, do you know?
Yeah, we're first in the points. We got second place in the first race, and the last two races we got first. So,
Well, Bill, you're number one. You're always a hard competitor. So where do we go from here?
well, I would like to thank my sponsors. First off, my co-driver Joe Kentop and crew chief. I want to thank him. He's always there to help out on the car. Also, the sponsors, BF Goodrich Tires. They're number one in tires. I don't let the other guys fool you. KC Highlights are excellent. Dynamax exhaust, Rancho shocks and suspension, and mechanics and Optima tires.
Ouch, Optima tires.
And Filter, of course, I almost forgot them. Without them, we couldn't be out there today. Thank you very much.
We've got a couple of Casey Highlight hats
Yeah,
for you.
definitely can't thank the sponsors enough about what they do. He was telling me like the class wouldn't be alive without certain sponsors. It's really crazy. Like, you know, the first person to sponsor my team was a good buddy of mine, MSC Construction. He never even really wanted to promote his team or his business, but he just wanted to really kick it in gear. And he's like, hey, now you got the first one, it'll start rolling into gear. So then I picked up Bernard's, Advanced Auto Parts, just by going into the shop and meeting these meeting these managers and just developing a rapport with them. You know, I'd gone to Advanced Auto Parts a bunch of times. I knew the guy, I'd talked with him. So it's like totally fun. You can go out and do it. Mainly, I would say going for sponsors. Somebody you've met face to face is the way to go. I would like to say I had a cold call work with Bill's Distributing, but it was like a strange, because he's like, oh, we'd only like to sponsor people that we know and meet. So I was trying to set up a meeting to meet him, and all of a sudden, riding on snowmobiles one day randomly, didn't even want to go. This is back the day before I was going out to film the Manawa Snowdio, so check out those vids. Playlist, we got the Manawa Snowdio 2019. Boom, run into the guy, Craig Anderson, at the bar, having a couple of drinks and a sandwich, and I was sitting next to him for like 5 minutes until all of a sudden the one lady says something about Bill's Distributing, and I look at the guy's shirt and he's got the Bills logo, and I hear him talk and I'm like, that's his voice, and I'm like, no way, Craig Anderson. So it's kind of, you know, everything seems to happen for a reason. It really has worked out. Hopefully this year will be a good run. We'll see. Looks like the next clip here, yeah, my dad even made the local news for that win, so let's give it a look.
Home in on Daytona, Florida. And every year, fans of off-road racing swarm in on Crandon like fat camp escapees at a buffet table. They call it the Super Bowl of the sport. And with the popularity of racing growing each day, you knew this year's Crandon Brush Run would be the biggest and best yet. This is the 29th running of the Crandon Brush Run, and race officials anticipate that some 30,000 fans will visit the International Raceway this weekend. As you can see, the weather held. First race of the day, the Sportsman 66 Sprint and Desert Race two-wheel drives in an 8-lap race. Early on, it is Jahoviak, and he is out in front, but in the Blazer, but Bill Grabowski gaining, and finally Jahoviak is sidelined with some drivetrain trouble. It's all Grabowski from here on out. He takes the checkered flag. Only two other racers in the race actually finished, but obviously they take second and third.
Crandon's been there forever. I've been racing it for like 21 years now, and Crandon was always the one to go to. All the other ones were just warm-up races for Crandon.
That's super fun to see my dad on the TV like that. He was never part of the, you know, big TV program. They always would, I guess he would record the pros. But hey, that lines us up with the next clip. We're in Antigo, Wisconsin, the start of the 99 season. And my dad's class wasn't scheduled for the end of the day after the pro classes, but there was a power outage, so the cameras couldn't work, so the stands were packed with people, which I'm not going to say normally they aren't packed for his race. There aren't usually a lot of people packing the stands for the American stock race. But yeah, that's the setup there, and this is also the first time that I have ever seen this race from the pits on the back side of the track. They no longer do the off-road races in Antigo, but there's a little premonition of the race. Also, both drivers in this race didn't know it was the last lap. They're just out there racing. Hard to see the flag man when you're going for the pass. But anyway, that's just to set it up. Let's give it a look.
Tailing him for about the near the whole race, slowly gaining on him. Go, 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 go. Boom, right there, the guy in the lead just landed on the launch of the second jump and totally bent all his shocks through the hood. Cheering for someone else's misfortune, I know, what can you do? And then Dad retelling the story says, here's the first time in a whole race he gets third gear. Boom. Just before that final, second to the final jump. Because they're still racing. He gets him back. And they got the flag man pulling him, waving him off the tracks. That was thrilling. So we had watching it live, we had no idea what happened. And we made it by, but like, did we get him at the jump? You know, there they go, they're letting him go by. What happened? You know, is the race over? Like, couldn't believe it. I'm like, he won? Oh.
Like the first time around?
What a race, too. But it all was set up, power outage, all that. Everything aligned beautifully. Gary.
Your daddy wouldn't?
Gary always seemed to have trouble, so it's unfortunate. But he's always into it.
Whatever he said was nice. Let's stay here. How love you.
It's a tough race. You got to finish to win. They're hauling them off all the time.
I don't know. I can't hear you. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go. The golfer cars are coming next. Are you going to watch them?
Of course, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't, you got to finish. You know, Lori, look there, guy's putting around, Hunter Gale. Bigger flat tire. He's been driving that flat tire for a long time during this race. Don't speak too soon, guys. Something broke right there. I think he said the driver, the rear end gave loose finally. 2 corners to go. Just watching it now, it's so. I can't even imagine how you felt as a kid, man. Oh, I felt horrible. I probably felt terrible. I'll give one to the Wood brothers. There's Corey Friday in the truck there.
But here comes our new leader, number 613. It's never over till it's over, Ron. Stanley Wood coming by, number 613, out of Marinette, Wisconsin. We'll be taking the checkered flag as Corey Friday gets second place. But in class
DNF.
Checkered flag for our winner, number 613, out of Marinette, Wisconsin, Stanley Wood.
First time I got my chance to hop in the seat. 2001, 15 years old. They let you run passengers, co-drivers back in the day, which I wish they'd still do. My greatest memory in racing is still being a passenger in the number 606. I have a feeling this isn't the clip I wanted.
I'm going to start talking about them now, even though they're not going down here in front of the crowd. Well, actually, they're going on a full recon lap.
Anyway, I think we, blew the rear end out. Lap 1.
We anticipated, sorry about that, the 20 when we get to Crandon in 2 weeks. Car is a multiple points winner, and Adrian's got nothing but
I didn't have it. We got to do the parade lap anyway. Oh, here it is. Fuck, look at that monster motor. Look at that. Rob Weiland off into the... Ooh, look at that. Kicking butt. Look at this time when he had the 400 motor in it. There's right boom there. Oh, nothing else. Stop it. Never had a chance to run the full whoop-de-doos at Mechanic and all that good stuff. Here I have to run Bark River. There's nothing like, so I don't have the, see how it's nothing like the Land Rush start. The footage from my race in Crandon, the brush run, yeah, was like no other. 10 cars to your left, 10 to your right. I was lucky to be in a race that had so many competitors. And just, you can feel the horsepower coursing through your bones. Like, you feel the earth around you just shaking. The world is. Boom, now they're all on it. Over 10,000 horsepower. Like, when you got 20 cars around you just all rumbling, dude. Oh, and then you're thrown in your seat, and then, like, you're so excited because it's my first race. I remember these hits. You feel these hits. You can feel the weight of the cars. Like, you know it's 3,000 pounds or more hitting you. But yeah, that was such a thrill in the Crandon race. We were first place through turn 1, something my dad had never done up until that point. We ended up getting passed around the starting line corner by 2 guys. He got passed by the one, and we were beaten by a guy who had a 56 Chevy body on a Chevelle frame, which was against the rules, but they had these guys from Montana doing bump and run, and they wanted to increase the numbers, so I'm glad they let them run. You know, even years later, yeah, I would love to win a race. It was super fun. But unfortunately, in this race here, you can see we were on it, man, just trying to get it. It's so exciting. Oh, I can't even explain it. Being up front and going for it. It's so fun. Of course, you can tell coming around the start-finish line corner here that something's up. No, I love it just hearing my buddy Noah. Go, go, go! Just, love it. We're going to take that wide line. I think the tire's starting to go low. And maybe not yet. Just got her out in the dirt. There's actually a road over there. So you can see it was going wide, racing out on an actual road. They block off during the races, which now they have a bigger road fence and shit. So watching the clip, you can see something right here. Boom. Kick out right there. That might have caused it. I think it's a little piece of sheet metal or something. I saw that same little flip of whatever it is a couple laps earlier, and that's how it might have got him. Because right here, it was trying to go. I remember it just not. No, it had it there. Next lap, it goes. That might not have been permanent. It got flat. Which is a bummer, I mean, to get taken out because of flat tires. Spend money on tires, guys. It's something I learned in the Enduro. I got a flat because a guy run into me. Or did I hit him? Hard to say. I don't know. He was going faster and passing me. But it looked like he intentionally drove right into me with his metal bumpers. Anyway, we pulled off the track. Pit crew had an amazing stop. Of course, in this kind of racing, it's low buck. I mean, it's hard to pay a lot of money to get a pit crew in there for you. And then you pull off the track and stop, and you're usually off the track for a couple minutes. It's not like NASCAR pit stops at all. So you kind of just push it as hard as you can until you think, oh, is it worth winning versus breaking the machine and such. That jump right there, that's the funnest jump ever. You don't get a lot of air, but like you're an inch off the ground for such a long period of time. I love that jump. I love to experience it again. Now you can see them all getting biased. The tire's definitely down. Anyway, then you have a bench. This one I remember hearing the motor just giving and it not going anywhere really. It was just a bummer. But there's always another race. Could he pull her off? I think he pulls it off. Oh, good run. I'll still always remember that Crandon run. Nothing like the start of the race. Horsepower everywhere, and then off you go, and there's cars to your right, cars to your left. Turn one, there's cars sliding up on you, and if they don't let off, they're going to hit you, or you have to let off. And I know I ain't letting off. Whatever.
So yeah, they ended up outlawing co-drivers because of a crash in a gob truck race, which is now a stock truck. Passenger was the only one to get hurt. I think he broke his arm or something. Big crash in turn one. Turn one is epic. Crandon, like, just sliding into it. I don't know. The start's way more epic if you ask me. But they outlawed co-drivers. Unfortunately, my younger sister was unable to co-drive the car ever. You're unlucky, Betty. It was quite the experience just to hear everything rumbling, especially in a 20-car field. I mean, you could go out there today and do it again, but like to be in a 20-car field and to be first place turn one, ugh, I am blessed. So anyway, yeah, I guess my dad retired from racing around 2010, and then, yeah, just life goes on, you know. Then my grandma ended up passing away, and I'm like, let's live for today. I had saved up a bunch of money. I was trying to buy a piece of land, just wasn't, you know. Now I'm here though. Look, I waited, I was patient, I got the perfect piece of land I was looking for, and for considerably cheaper and much more acres than I wanted to spend. But in the meantime, kind of waiting for that, live for today, you know. What if that land never shows up? I had 12 bands, you know, I was loaded. Why not build a race car? You know, I wanted to learn how to work on cars. I didn't know a whole lot. Yeah, my dad was a huge championship racer, but, you know, I wasn't out there. You know, it was by choice to be out there. You can come help, you know. If I'd help him when I was co-driving near the end, but yeah, as a kid it was just super fun to watch. Now I've built my own. We got a couple other projects in store. Kind of wonder if all this has affected me, obviously. You know, what would it be like had he won a championship? You know, he never won the fall run championship. Always wanted that dream, but he won plenty of spring runs. Had a great time. Anyway, we got some clips of my build. Let's check it out.
The red flower Rem loved. The geranium, in the language of flowers, means determination.
So yeah, I got a picture of the Plymouth Neon, and I'm like, hey, that looks just like the one that won that race that I saw, that first enduro my dad took me to. Here we go, Bill's Auto. The passengers, or that was the passenger seat in the old Nova. Now my driver's seat in the Red Angel. It's a red car. I found a bunch of Angel trinkets in it. Plus, I kind of felt it was like an angel being sent to me to help me go where I need to go. Bang, there it is. Like, done. Matched that paint job off of a Herzog design that Jimmy Johnson used to drive up in Crandon, the 888. Can't Stop the Rooster, my first sponsor. The guy wanted a phoenix or a rooster. He didn't want his name. We've raised hundreds of dollars over the couple seasons for charity. It's been great. You know, it's been real fun doing that build. Just learned so much. Got her out there on the first practice day. There's one of the trinkets that came with it. Car getting ready for race day. Of course, I numbered it 06 because of my dad's 606. You can see I'm rocking the windshield there just like my dad did. That thing is luxury out on the track. That mud ain't hitting you in the face. Finished my first ever race at the Enduro, 13th place. She took a beating, I'll tell you. I wanted a reflective lightning bolt, chrome, so I went with that. Ready to go. It's my first full season. I actually raced down in Menominee, Wisconsin at the Red Cedar Speedway. That was, it'll be a season to remember. That was so fun racing against this other guy for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, them things really came together. I worked at this deal with Whiplash Designs and Graphics, and they really set up a nice looking car. But, here we are getting ready. There's my dad right there with me. It was such a good experience to have him there with my first race car, help me out. Yeah, there he is, man. Crew chief for King Dave Motorsports. Yeah, here we are at the Dunn County Fair Enduro. This was a 100-lap race. It was done in 20 different sections, so it was basically 5 20-lap races. But only the winner got paid in the first 4 events. Otherwise, they could take their 200 and leave. Oh man, right there. I remember that handshake, dude. I'll cherish that forever, man. It was just something that was so special to me that I just knew I had to sit and just enjoy that moment. Just soak that in as he did that and was walking up to the pits. Oh man. Keep the car alive for the final segment of this 100-lap event. Here it is, the final lap. I am fighting for 5th place, actually. Got super nervous, just started not running my line. Let him by me. But actually, right there, I kind of bumped him a little bit on the inside. He slid up high into the corner, and then I cut down. And I cut down too far, and I was kind of straddling the mud. And then to get back up on the track, he had the better drive there. But my goal was 6th for that event. And that's what I went out and did. 6th place was the final paying position for the final segment of that race, which was pretty awesome. So yeah, we just did it all, looked back on it. Wow, such amazing memories. It seems like a lifetime, it seems like 2 lifetimes ago or something. It hardly seems real anymore to look back on it all, you know. Of course, I guess I was 8 years old, 5 years old, you know, and what. But yeah, so grateful to be able to just be where I'm at, to go out there and enjoy those races as a kid. That was fun. I got to enjoy that. So I just want to say